Hi again, everyone. Welcome to episode 11, Rime of the Frostmaiden. That's pretty fun. Small crew tonight, as we have people traveling, people studying, and people getting ready for big life events. So yeah, just the four of us this evening. We have... What announcements do we have? Just one little thing. Two little things from me. We have a fantastic giveaway coming up from our fantastic friends at the Hold Games. I'll throw my link in the chat. That's coming up towards the end of the month, so stay tuned for that. Watch out for a fantastic set of dice, which I'll share in our socials and our Discord in the coming days. So that'd be fun. And the other thing is, don't forget next week we have a little break from our regular programming of Rime of the Frostmaiden to bring you Dungeon Mastery the Second. I'll be chatting with DM Robin. And this time we're talking about what I've labeled begin before the beginning begins. So all the kind of prep work and activities and planning that goes into things, or how much you should be thinking about things before actually kicking off a campaign. I think that's it. Unless anyone has anybody else to bring up, we can roll intros. Let's go. Welcome back. Before we kick off tonight's session, I'm actually going to throw it to Dave to give us a recap of how things went down in episode 10. Dave.
Yeah. Well, as with all good episodes, it started with Dan yelling out dick nipples right as we started the episode, right? When not being here to do it himself tonight, I had to make sure that his memory lives on. And so with that is kind of where we started. We kicked on from a small issue of being inside a house that was on fire, right? We fell sort of subject to this trap. We got shot. B really didn't enjoy being shot, so she set the place on fire, and then we had to kill people as we escaped. We did that. We got outside. We made it out safely. We regathered. We got back together. We're like, this is sweet. We've got someone to interrogate, and we said, let's go and blend in. And we failed horribly at blending in. We were isolated very, very quickly. We were taken away. Our hostage was removed from us. We lost all of our leverage, and we were headed towards a ordinary house that was absolutely going to be full of doom. In the end, thankfully, a massive scuffle broke out on the street, and we were able to keep ourselves alive. And the main thing we did was kind of like kick people in the shins and run. It was a little bit more complex than that, but that's about what it was if you want to sum it up. And then it was kind of exit stage left as the episode ended, and we kind of ran with our tails between our legs. But look, we lived to fight another day. And Jez has promised us that tonight's episode is us going to a day spa. So
I've done nothing of the kind.
Hey, exactly what you said.
So yes, you find yourselves fleeing this group of mercenaries, the militia of the town, that had you in custody to take you away, fleeing, and around that corner where Jorgen had fled first. As you rounded that corner, what you saw wasn't Jorgen, but Russell, the keeper of the Trip and Shuffle. Now, you find... Oh, what's his name now? Russell. Russell/Jorgen took off down the street with some of you following in behind him, trying to get to the burnt-out house from a few sessions ago, one of the first burnt-out houses that you discovered in Targos. It's about this time in the confusion and trying to find safety and hide from your pursuers that Impa and Beatrice find themselves off to the side on their own. No one really had a chance to look back and make sure everyone was together with all the commotion and kerfuffle trying to escape out of this situation you're in. By the time you reach this burnt-out house, Beatrice and Impa are nowhere to be found. Reaching the house, you stand there. You stand facing this house. There's now the four of you. Tolbin, Greykov, Jorgen and Zane with you right now. And the same kind of feeling of dread, of fear, washes over you all as you all stand before this house. What do you do?
Can we move towards the house, or are we like, is the feeling of dread like fear and we can't move towards it?
Let's have a look. Oh my god, my machine right now, just a quick tangent. You know, I have a situation where I'm trying to scroll my mouse and it keeps scrolling to the bottom of the screen every time. So I can't scroll up right now. You can... So as you start to approach the house, that feeling of fear like something is not right with this place. Like it is a place of darkness. Really, really gets under your skin. You can try to push through that if you wanted to. That is your call.
Well, is this close enough?
Tolbin's gonna growl at that comment and then turn back into a human being. Pull his cloak up over him. We
kind of need a place to hide because half the town is looking for us.
Look, Greykov, what do you think? I mean, if they're looking for us, they won't want to come here. If we can brave this and push on for a few minutes, you know, we can rest the night maybe.
Yeah, it's a definitely horrible place to go into, so it's good for us, I guess.
I suppose if it's giving off these sorts of fuck off vibes to us, it's probably giving that same vibe to the rest of the city. It's just whether we want to chance it against anything that's in there trying to keep us away.
Tolbin, with your keen senses, you pick up some commotion back in the direction you've run from. You hear some voices shouting, "Go this way, we'll check the other, go!"
In.
Let's go in, sure.
Okay.
Is the door open? It's just got a symbol on it, right? But we can push the door in.
The door has been thrown over the fence of the town, over the perimeter fence of the town, with Impa running down the street with the door and just yeeting it over the fence.
Yeeting it. All right. Well, then I'm gonna run. Tolbin's gonna run inside and encourage Greykov and the cat to follow.
Okay, you all head in the house?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll head in. I just wanted a quick question about how dilapidated or how much of the house is left. Is it like charred remains, or is it somewhat, a house?
Let me show you.
There was an upper story, wasn't there? 2 stories.
Okay, theater of the mind style. If you're looking at the shell of a house, right, where you can walk into the ground level, and there is some like remains of walls that used to be there. Looking up, everything is kind of collapsed in, as though the fire has raged through the middle of the house and just burnt it from the inside out. There is snow falling inside this house.
Well, Perhaps we should look for the basement or somewhere like that.
With my keen perceptions capabilities, do I notice any trapdoors or anything that we can get into a basement?
Before we get to that, as you walk across the threshold of this house, can you all please make a Constitution saving throw?
This guy.
Hey, natural 20.
You.
And while you're doing that,
I
will
would love
bring
to,
you guys-
Jez. I just realized I haven't even loaded up Foundry at this point.
Oh my god!
Roll for me and just no modifiers.
Okay, 1 second. Roll for you. One
How much
save.
would I get?
Where are we? Rime.
17.
17.
Okay. And
One
Zane,
second.
Should
I'll
roll with
roll
disadvantage
myself.
for not being prepared.
Jorgen has a +2 to con, I believe.
Jorgen has a +4 for con, so it's just
+4
17 in
for con.
total.
Alright. And I will roll now myself. Saving throw?
Saving throw.
Nice. I rolled myself an 18.
As you sort of enter this house, you all kind of feel this moment where you just become more overwhelmed with fear and concern, like almost this petrification before you realize it's just a house, and you're able to walk through that and shrug it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a house.
And I will now show you where you are. Okay, hopefully you can all see the screen, the map now.
I can see a black screen.
What?
I can see a black screen.
I can
No
see.
black screens.
You can see everything?
Yeah, everything that is
Visible
limited
to you,
to my
yes.
character. Yeah.
Is this a dark sight thing? Because I don't have dark sight.
Well, it is dim light no matter where you are in Icewind Dale. So let me just put that to dim light for everybody.
Yeah, I'm seeing it as if it's like darkness, and because I have dark vision, I'm seeing dim light.
Well,
and
I've
it's
just
like-
turned on a torch.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, but I still can't see anything. But it is 11 a.m.
It's 11 a.m., but it's dim light through the middle of the day.
Okay. Is it because the game? It's not because game's paused, is it?
There you go. You should be able to see now. I just lit a torch for you.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. I can see some room.
Okay. Yeah, so you find yourself in this narrow kind of hallway. It looks really burnt out, ash everywhere, and just debris scattered throughout the place.
Guys, this is not probably my best work, but we just need to bunker down and stay quiet for a couple of minutes until everything passes over, and then we just need to get some sleep. I'm absolutely scraping the barrel here. I've got nothing left. Are you guys any better?
I am not doing much better, but yeah, is there a basement in here or somewhere we can hide a bit better than the ground floor?
You can have a look around, make an investigation or perception check. Your call.
Cool. Do I notice anything with my high natural passive perception?
There's a 22.
Well, that would find it if I don't. There you go.
You look around as best you can, Greykov. You can't see any access to a basement or underground area.
All right. Why don't we just?
I will say that with your very high perception check, yep. As you're looking around trying to find a trapdoor to the basement, you do discover a very fine or residual, very fine red powder on the walls and some areas on the floor.
Interesting. Grab my notebook. Red powder kind of residue.
Mm-hmm. And Tolbin, you're talking about your high passive.
Don't sniff it.
So it's only a 17, my passive, so it's well under the 22 roll.
Are you actively looking around or standing there and to see what hits you in the eyes?
I think I'd probably walk into the closest room to me here and have a look-see.
Okay. Make an active perception check or investigation check for me. Perception, because you're not really looking for something in particular unless you are.
Yeah.
And just do tell me.
I'm just generically having a look around. Perception. That is a big old 22.
22. Huge.
Oh, the 22s.
There we go. Okay. Looking around in this entry area where this door has been bashed in, you're looking around these side rooms as well. After kicking over a couple of burnt out boards, you find just a couple of very fresh, very intact, very green leaves. The kind of which are fairly large. It reminds you of like a maple tree. This reminds you of something you've seen long ago in your past, from someone you've met long ago in your past.
Should I make a history check to see if I can remember what it reminds me of?
You absolutely can. History or, yeah, make a history check.
Oh, nat 20! I'm feeling very remembery tonight.
Fantastic. Looking at these leaves and just feeling the peculiarity of finding this fresh, crisp leaf that's almost been frozen in place in this ashed, blackened area. It sparks a memory of you from when you first encountered or was brought to your old master.
Interesting.
And you, if you wanted to, here we go, you're welcome to share that memory with us. For inspiration, it's on the line.
It's on the line. I got an inspiration from my wolf last episode.
You don't have to.
I'll hold it for the moment. Because maybe I'll have a sit down with Greykov in a minute or two and tell him about what I've found.
Cool.
But for the moment, we're desperate to find somewhere to rest.
Do we feel like we're hidden from the street? Sort of where we are?
You're welcome to make a stealth check. I'll give you advantage since you are inside.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
You went up at like a 37 or something.
2 14s for a 22.
You're pretty confident that you're pretty well hidden in this place and no one ever comes here from what you've seen and heard.
Do any of you know what this red powder stuff is here?
Can I investigate the powder? Is it like is it something I should taste or arcana check it maybe?
Up to you. I mean, it would look like
Medicine check? Is it like a substance?
Imagine like red icing sugar. But I don't think the person who lived here was baking cakes.
A nature check maybe. Can I define the nature?
I tell you
of
what, make an arcana check.
All right, make this arcana check. I'm gonna just bring a bit of it up near my eyes, and my arcana check is a solid 11.
It looks like a red powder.
It's very, very powdery and red. Maybe dried blood. Maybe a bit of ochre. If someone's drawing some, lines on their face or something. Where'd you find it?
It was just on the wall here?
On the wall? Oh, maybe it is dried blood. I'm not sure, mate. I don't know if I've ever seen this before.
I might rip out a page of my book, and I will, like so, make a little pocket
The fancy envelope you're making.
and make a little, and then I'll put it in there. Scrape some off and put it in there, and close it up and put it back in my book.
Great. Add small pouch of red powder to your inventory.
I don't touch it though. Yet.
Okay. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Well, that 22 from Greykov, if we think we're hidden, should we... we think we're hidden with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty confident that you can't be seen.
All right. Grey Cat, should we get out the bedrolls and hunker down, mate? I'm exhausted. I know it's only midday, but I'm exhausted. If we don't get a sleep in, I'm not going to make it through the rest of the day.
No, let's sleep.
Okay.
Do we get a +1 to sleep because we'll curl up with the fluffy kitty?
Not quite. But tell me, like, are you just like basically sleeping in the entryway here, or where were you choosing to try and find a place to try and get some rest?
Tolbin's going to just wander into the room he's in here and kind of get into the corner so that he's not visible from the street or anything. I've got a bedroll in my pack, so I'll probably like get out my bedroll and then, just kind of put my traveler's cloak over me, wrap up on myself, and just kind of curl up in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to set a fire or anything like that because that, might give us away. So, yeah, find a safe corner in the nearest spot.
I might. There's a second story, right?
Not really. There's like the edge of. It's gone. There's no way of getting up to the second story. There used to be one. It is gone.
Okay. Yeah, I'll come into the same room. Maybe just into this corner here. I know. Get behind some kind of rubble. Mm-hmm. I only need to sleep for 4 hours, so I'm gonna do that meditative state and kind of just sit there and kind of stay hidden but still have kind of like an eye out the door a little bit. But if it means I'll be too visible, then I won't do that.
No, you'll be pretty safe there. And I imagine. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, does Mark have anything similar with only needing a short sleep, being a cat or anything like that? Because it would be awesome if we had 2 people able to take 4-hour naps and get a full rest and have a look out.
Let me have a look. Jared, in your character sheet, where does it say that you only get to have a 4-hour rest feature?
I'd say so. It'll be in Wood Elf.
Okay, yeah, so it'll be in your...
Trance,
Tabaxi... No, he doesn't.
Damn it.
He's a cat. Cats love to nap. This cat is napping for a long time.
Yeah, fair call. All right.
And he's just going to find a little perch on top of a mound of rubble.
Love it.
And curl up there.
Greykov, I've got to rest. Yeah. Look, we did good. We got out. We're alive. We built heavy hand. We beat him. I can't believe we got through what we did, mate. This is insanity. But I'm cooked. I've got to sleep.
But it was a very narrow escape.
Yeah, but it was an escape.
Yeah.
It's at that moment you hear like footsteps come running down the path. You hear a couple of kids kind of shuffle out the way and scream a little bit as 3 or 4 different sets of footsteps go running straight past the place.
Well, hopefully nobody wants to come into this shithole.
Yeah. Look, I think we're good here. Let's curl up and hope the kitty doesn't purr too loud.
Okay. Anyone taking watch?
I might stay up for like 2 hours and then rest for 4 and then stay up for 2.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So you... Greykov staying awake. Everybody else is going to sleep. Great. Tolbin. While sleep comes to you fairly easily given the events of the day, I have lost my spot in my notes.
Tolbin's dream suddenly goes blank halfway through.
Oh, hang on. Just one moment while the loads.
This is what it is when you walk into a room and you don't understand why you walked in there. Because the DM lost his place in the notes.
Oh, that happens to me like 5 to 10 times a day on a bad day.
Okay. Tolbin, while sleep comes to you easily enough,
Yeah.
it feels like only seconds before you see yourself standing in front of this raging fire in front of you. Your head is filled with the screams of a woman that sounds familiar.
Does it sound like my wife?
It does.
How am I experiencing the dream like I'm seeing a movie, or am I like in it and I can go and bang on the windows and try and yell?
You're experiencing this dream like everything else around you is black and gone. The only thing in front of you, which feels like it's right there in front of you, about 15 to 20 feet away, is this massive blaze. The sound of those screams echo all around you as though they're inside your head.
Tolbin runs to like the door, runs to the window to try and see if his wife's in there screaming.
Make a perception check.
Feverishly, like trying to bang on the door. Perception. Oh, that is low. That's a 4 plus 5 for a 9 total on perception.
You don't see much in looking in there except more flames.
Like Tolbin's feverishly trying to open the door, trying to open a window, trying to get in there. The flames, like, they don't bother him. He needs to get in there.
Okay. Give me a strength check to open a window or bash down a door.
Good thing I have is ability check, yeah?
Yes.
Good thing I have a -1 to strength. Here comes baby for a 9. Why with the 9?
As you try to lift up one of these windows, you feel like you get it halfway up before it just slams itself shut again.
And do like that old school movie thing of like take off my hat and punch through my hat to try and break the glass.
Give me another strength check to try and break the glass. Or, unarmed strike.
An unarmed, okay, let's do it. Strength check still, or is it just an unarmed strike?
Unarmed strike.
All right, let's find unarmed strike. Here it is. Unarmed strike, attack. Oh, that's respectable. 16.
You smash a hole in this glass. The fire rips out and greets your face. You can feel the heat like it's all over you right now. As that settles down, in the space where you've just opened up in this window, you see just a figure in what looks like a crimson hood. Ooh. Just looking down.
Looking down from inside, or like at the window I've just smashed
from inside, as though this person is in the center of this house.
Oh. I scream for Nelly. Nelly, what are you? Nelly, are you all right? Why are you screaming, Nelly? I try and open the window again. Try and like fish my hand around to make more of a space to climb in the window.
Give me a strength
Like
check.
no regard for my own safety that this would like carve me up.
Give me a strength check with advantage since you've already smashed this window.
Oh, slightly better than a 9. It's an 8.
This time the window does not even lift up. It feels even heavier than before. And as you look up, seeing this figure in the center of this house, this figure's head, this whole hood, turns to you. Just ever so slowly, you see two white, lit up, almost glowing eyes before you wake up.
Do I wake up like in a sweat with a startle?
With a start, like you wake up suddenly, like you freaked out.
Is anyone else awake?
It's been just over an hour since you guys decided to go to sleep, so presently Greykov would still be awake.
Greykov. Fire.
Bad dreams?
But the fire, where? Just check my hands for like burns or scrapes or any sort of my clothes. I'm really confused. It was so real.
Well, we're out of the fire now. It's okay, you're safe.
Before we met Nessie, I felt Nessie in my dreams. It was unnerving. I felt like I was, without knowing it was Nessie, I was like swimming through the water. I could feel what Nessie was going through. And then we met Nessie and it was really confusing. I never had dreams like that before.
You mean the big monster in the lake?
Yeah, the sentient monster in the lake. I didn't know I was having dreams of Nessie, but like it was real. But they weren't like nightmares. I never had dreams like this. This is so real.
But you were just talking about fire.
My wife many years ago died in a fire. It was a nothing fire. There was a problem with the furnace. You know, the stove was having a drama. A whole bunch of things took light in the cabin. I was in the forest. I didn't know about it until I got back, and there was nothing that I could do by that stage. But the dream, I was there. I watched it. I heard her scream. I smashed the window to climb on in, but the house was fighting me. There was this thing inside. It wasn't Nelly, my wife, though. It was
something else.
It was in the shadows. It was like it had a red cape. It was covering its face. I couldn't really make out what it was. Right before I woke up, though, I could see it staring at me with these. I couldn't see its face. I couldn't make out its features, but the heat seemed to be getting to me, and yet these eyes just pierced the heat. I could feel the eyes on me more than the flames. It was intense.
Well, first of all, I'm not very good at this, but I'm sorry for your loss. And that sounds horrible. Second is, do you seem to think that your dreams or experiences are grounded in some kind of reality And perhaps if you're dreaming about fire now and this person with piercing eyes, is this a real thing, or are you is your brain just tormenting you? Because it does that.
It could just be tormenting me. I could have just had one dream, you know. But Thane said something to me the other week, and I look at him in the corner sleeping still. He mentioned a fire taking one of his close people, and it resonated with me, but I didn't realize. And now we stand in a house full of flame that's been decimated. And I can't help think if all these things are connected. Zane's loved one, my wife, this house. I can't help but think there's too many coincidences. I've listened to the wind enough times to know that this world doesn't have this many coincidences. There's something else at play here. There's something bigger than a few charred, remains and a building that's been emptied. I can't put my finger on it yet, but something.
Well, I wouldn't argue with you on that.
If you see me starting to shake and have dreams again, you throw a rock at me or something, wake me up, because that was not restful.
Will do.
I appreciate you not mentioning this to Zane and Jorgen. I'll chat about it to them when I'm ready.
Hey, they're your dreams. You could keep in your head if you want. Tell people.
Appreciate it.
It's up to you.
Curl back up under my cloak. Thankful that I'm not actually on fire.
After about an hour and a half or so, Jorgen, welcome back. You find sleep fairly quickly as well. Being the tabaxi you are, you found a nice comfy place high up, perched up high, curled up, and the place is kind of rumbling with your purrs, putting everyone else to sleep at least temporarily. Your vision starts to clear while sleeping, and you find yourself standing on a snow-swept mountain. The base of a snow-swept mountain. Wind howling and snow pelting down around you. You can hear the soft kind of calls for help from a familiar voice coming from above you. What do you do? On mute. No. The snowstorm has stolen your voice from you. While Mark figures that out, have a go at Dave's t-shirt, the original Raging Rolls t-shirt. Did you know that you can get your very own Raging Rolls merch in our very own Raging Rolls merch store, which I'll throw into the chat right now, should anyone want to find a fantastic brand new logo shirt courtesy of Jared playing Greykov, or a shirt from our previous campaign, Call of the Seven Rings.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
We got you.
We got you. We're back.
With a little bit of echo. We'll deal with it.
That's right. Did you say it was a familiar voice?
Yes.
Would you care to elaborate who it might
sound like?
It sounds like someone you've spent a lot of time with in the past. A fellow... You could get a sense from the tone of the voice and the types of cry that it's a fellow tabaxi.
And what type of cry does that sound like? Like an in pain?
Like a cry for help.
Cry
Less
for help.
in pain, but more a cry for help.
Okay. I'd like to start climbing, I think.
Okay.
Claws out.
Alright. Give me a strength check.
Gonna climb this mountain like it was a set of curtains. That's a solid 7.
Yeah, you get exactly 7 feet up the side of this mountain before you slip. But it's weird because even though you've climbed up a bit and slipped back down, the sound of that cry seems even louder and even closer.
I would like to use, in my dream state, feline agility, and I think jump is doubled.
Okay.
Hey, just throwing it out there while you've got to do things and making rolls, Mark, you've got a couple of minor blessings. And you've got 3 minor blessings if you need. And Greykov, the Incredible, has a destined to succeed hidden there waiting for him to use. So, should the need for those come up, and Jez has nothing, sadly. The need
What's going on?
Up,
That's a first.
Use them. I mean, but anyway.
Yeah, so I would like to jump and use my claws as like pitons.
Okay. So you just jump, what, like 20 feet?
It would be feline agility is double movement. Okay. So jumping should be 60 feet.
What? You can't jump 60 feet.
Oh no, I can also climb. I have special climb movement. 20.
Okay, so you jump 20 feet with your feline agility, clamp onto the side of this mountain, and manage to find enough grip on the side of this cliff to start climbing up. Once you reach that 40 feet, you can just about see the edge of this edge of a small plateau before the mountain continues on upwards. And the sound of that cry is closer than ever.
I look around through the snowstorm trying to pinpoint it.
It sounds like it's right above you.
Right above. I'll call out, "Who's there? Talk to me so I can find you."
You just hear the faint sobbing in return. Nothing spoken. The voice doesn't change. Just a continual sobbing and cry for help. And I'm not going to try and imitate a cat doing that.
What if I spend all my minor blessings?
I've got 70k points.
I think I can feel a little bit of panic creeping in. That I want to help, but I can't find where this person is.
I'll try and explain it again. So you're on the edge of this cliff. You're 40 feet up. At the 41st foot, it flattens out.
Yep.
To like a small ledge. You're a foot below that area.
Oh, I'd like to climb that last foot if I can.
As you sort of just get over the edge of the lip of that area and see the side before you, you see a young tabaxi that you recognize from when you were a younger teenager. You see them in a small cage, no more than say 3 feet high. and they sit there and they whimper.
I said, let me help you. Who put you here? And I start fumbling for a way of unlocking the cage.
As soon as you try to grab that cage and rattle it, the face looks up at you. It's a familiar face of your sister. And she just looks at you dead in the eye and says, Don't! They'll catch you! And then pushes you away through the bars. And as you sit there, and as you slip and fall back off that cliff, that feeling of falling jolts you awake.
I hate it when that happens. Do I see the others as awake?
Yes, like you and Tolbin woke up at almost exactly the same time. Tolbin a couple of minutes just before you.
So I do that typical thing when you do start to fall asleep and you have that falling action and it causes you that jolt. And yeah, I sit up, straight up in bed and look around quite sheepishly, hoping no one noticed. Because it's just a dream, and that's fairly foolish, right? Seemed very real, but you know, it's all a bit embarrassing, really.
Okay.
Do we notice?
You can give me a perception check, see if you notice him bolt awake.
The snoring would have stopped abruptly.
I got a 22.
Yeah, you absolutely notice. I don't think you're going to even get the chance to try and hide that, because you can't hide that when you wake up. It's almost, you see like a cat kind of start to get freaked out and go skitty before just trying to calm back down.
Yeah, you see mine just like puff up and then run out of the room at full tilt. Knocking as many things out of the way as possible.
Actually, question for you, Jorgen. I should have asked this earlier. Are you still in Russell form?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I've dropped that. Back to Tabaxi.
Okay, great.
Silver, spotty, snow leopard. Like.
Okay. So yes, Greykov did notice that.
Bad dreams too?
I think I just had one of those like falling dreams. It just woke me up. You know when you expect to hit the ground and then it sort of jolts you awake. Felt really real.
Must be something about this place.
Yeah, it gave pretty horrid fuck-off vibes when we went in, but better than being out there, I say.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Have you slept yet?
No, not yet. I've just been keeping an eye out, and I don't need to sleep that long, so I was just going to, stay on watch for a bit, and then get bored and fall asleep, and then...
Just don't get bored and decide to try and kill someone in their sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I looked suspiciously at Greykov and wondered if he just fucked up trying to kill us. That wasn't you, was it?
No, I've stayed here the whole time. But I've got like an arrow knocked in my bow, sitting on my knees.
Deception check.
Okay, so is everyone going back to sleep?
Yeah, Tolbin is curled back up under in his corner and trying to sleep.
Yeah, I'm pretty messed up and would like a full rest.
Just before you go into your trance-type state there, Greykov, you notice, given that Tolbin and Jorgen have both startled themselves awake, you just look over at Zane. And Zane is tossing and turning in his sleep. And you can almost see beads of sweat appearing on his face. Nevertheless, your war curl up. And the night passes. The day moves on, I should say. So hang on, let me just get this straight. You guys are taking a long rest, full 8 hours. Okay.
That is the plan. Can we click the button to do
You
that?
can, yes. Sorry, I'll just move time forward. You may click the long rest button.
Holy camole.
Where
That's
is long
insanity.
rest? I'm just doing that for Zane as well.
Got spell slots, and we've got health back, and the ability to become a wolf again.
At about
New man.
just as the colours hit the sky again, as they do every night, you all sort of rouse into consciousness. But it's odd that you feel almost more exhausted than you do when you first walked in. And having spent a restless night in this place, you all take 1 point of exhaustion.
Oh.
Cool. Where is that done, by the way?
Top left of your icon.
There we go. Yep. Exhaustion, so level 1. Disadvantage on ability checks. Cool. We should have opted for a hotel with like big fluffy beds.
We should have. Fair call. Hey, Jorgen, Greykov, you guys obviously not fans of carrots. Do you enjoy berries or some other, fruit?
Berries are nice. I like coffee beans.
Right.
I think I still have some from the speaker's place.
Brilliant. Well, I can't speak to the coffee beans, but I can give you a few berries if you're interested. These will make you feel full, make you feel like you've had a decent feed.
Well, that would be nice.
And I hand over a berry to each of the crew.
That's it.
Need to look to myself.
Yummy.
That's your day's nutrients. You're nourished. You feel full, and you regain 1 hit point.
I love the 1 hit point. It's just this nice little touch.
Yeah,
When you say feel nourished, does that also wipe the exhaustion?
It does not. It does not. But you don't have to find food today. You at lunchtime you won't be hungry. So yeah. Also, none of my healing things get rid of exhaustion. This is poo. Maybe if I thorn whip somebody, they'll feel less exhausted.
I'll tell you what, at that point there, at this 9:30 mark, we'll take a 10-minute break before we come back with the second half.
I'll try and work out what's going on with my mic.
Alright, back soon folks, back in 10. Bye.
Please.